You ready? Mm-hmm. We're in Scotland. We're in a rental car. We're headed north. And let's just get this out of the way. What was the name of the company again?
Easy Rent is terrible.
Yeah, Easy Rent. Just avoid them if you're ever coming to Edinburgh to rent a car. Go anywhere else. It's not just us. Look at the Google reviews. They run a scam. It's bad news. Moving on. We are now headed north, and you handed me this a couple days ago. Do you remember? Can you read that for everyone?
Next week is full of fun and adventure.
And you handed me that a week ago.
Was it 1 week ago?
Yeah.
We were having Chinese food 1 week ago. Gosh, the highlight of my life. So the Chinese food that tasted terrible.
It wasn't good. So that next week is now, man.
I would say that today, not fun, but was an adventure.
It was an adventure.
It was definitely an adventure.
We got the car, but it almost erupted into a fist fight.
We don't know if we should go into what happened. I think that if we did, it would just
be a long video.
Let's just say, sum it up. This car cost 3 times more than what we had initially signed on for. So we have a lot of insurance, and I'm going to engrave my name into the front of the car.
We've got it for 13 days though.
Yep,
and
13 days.
We're heading into the north of Scotland. And today, so far, it's been rainy and kind of mucky looking, but that's kind of to me what Scotland looks like this time of year. So it's kind of cool to see just the drizzly weather.
And also, I think we're sitting in a car. Who cares what the weather is outside? As long as it's not stopping the car, that's all I care about.
Yeah. And it's been other than that, it's been pretty. Lots of trees and mountains with snow on them and stuff going by. And I really don't even know where we're going, but at some point, Katie has talked about a castle is going to get involved in our sleepy levels of living pretty soon.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So immediately after we finished filming that video, we drove a mile and we hit a winter wonderland. So I think that it's possible we have officially hit the north of Scotland.
We just stopped off and found Fergus the Hairy Coo. Is that a legitimate name? That seems inappropriate. Anywho, I want to make one of these. This looks amazing. It looks like a bunch of shoehorns that somebody was at IKEA. What we can do with these shoehorns? I'm gonna make a cow. That's some lemons in a lemonade right there. Life gives you shoehorns, make a cow. Make a
coo. Just rolling up the road, and I know we're in the area of Loch Ness because we keep seeing signs for it on the side of the road. We're not headed there right now, but this is just a normal little inlet from the ocean that's sitting behind me, and these mountains that are up in the background look epic. I'm stoked to see what's ahead. We're driving through this little village, and we're on a 2-lane road. So cars are blowing both directions, and it's kind of narrow, but everything is fine. But there's this little section that we're about to come up to here that is they've blocked it off, so you have to wait if there's another oncoming car, but I can't figure out why the hell they would ever do this. Have a look. Why is that there? Is that just the only thing I can think of is it's a speed bump, they're trying to slow people down that are coming into the town. But I mean, put a speed bump in, y'all. You're gonna put people into oncoming traffic? That's how you're, what? I'm just baffled.
Whoa! That's how you spell whoa, right?
You're a total dork.
No, you over there, I'm tall.
I'm in the road.
I can't stand on it.
It is super duper windy, and also it is St. Patrick's Day. So I brought some green jelly beans. Here, have a green jelly bean. Woo! And then I got a green jelly bean as well. So we're gonna do that to St. Patrick's Day.
Hold on. We already did this once today. To St. Patrick's Day!
Dink. And we just Googled it. That's wind. It is really, really windy. We just Googled it, and we are officially definitely in the Scottish Highlands now, and we're headed deeper into the Highlands. And we're headed to Wick, right? Because you found someplace cool that we're going to be sharing with people.
We're staying in a castle on St. Patrick's Day.
It's going to be pretty sweet. And on the way, we're in search of a boner.
Yeah.
That's a fairly usual sight in this part of the world. Just some sheep and a boot. And we're gonna cross the road because we found something that's a little less usual these days, but used to be usual. And it's this box, and our friend had explained to us what this is. It's a double A, I guess, is what they would call it, instead of like AAA in the States. But it works very similarly in the sense that if you have a car problem, then you pay like, you know, a yearly subscription or whatever, and you become a part of their club. So if you do have a problem, then you're able to have them come and they'll help you out. And of course, these days people still use this service and they just use their cell phone or whatever if they have a problem. But back in the day, of course, no cell phones. So they built these boxes, and they used to be like a lot of them, apparently. Like every mile or so, there'd be one of these boxes like lining outside of the countrysides and maybe even in more urban areas, I'm not sure. And there's like a telephone inside. And you have to have a special key that like all of the members of the club have, I guess, to open the door to get inside, to use the telephone to call for help. And then they'll send out like, you know, one of the local like garage dudes or whatever will come and give you a hand. But these are rare. This is like maybe only the second or third one that we've seen the whole time that we've been here. And we've been driving around the countryside quite a bit. So like, I'm not sure why these are still function here. Is it just like a historical thing, or can you still, if you have a key, go in there and open this thing? But like, if that's your only way of getting help, there's only one of these things like every few hundred miles, so that's quite a hike if you're having car troubles.
Seriously, a lady just drove by and like she stopped. She looked very concerned about our situation. I think she thought that we were like trying to get assistance from this, and then she saw that you were videotaping and she just carried on. But I think she was ready to be the double A.
So it turns out that the current version of Boner Bridge was erected in 1973.
I think maybe they didn't realize somebody did this drawing incorrectly.
I am super duper impressed with Scottish architecture. Like, look at these lovely houses. It's just like really spot on, beautiful. It's like a work of art. Access is a little tricky, but I think it's worth it for how good it looks. Do slides ever work? Like ever? How come I always get stuck like going down?
Seriously, not even just a minute ago, we saw a sign on these country roads that are out here, which is all that there is out here when we're not near the coast. The coast seems to have bigger roads, but we're just hanging out on some small roads. And we just saw a sign that said, wild goats.
And we both were like, there's wild goats? That's a thing? I mean, I guess obviously, yeah.
So then we started looking up at the hills and we saw like a whole family of goats moving across this hill. And yeah, they're coming down to the road now. I hope that they're good at crossing.
That sign was super accurate.
It was really accurate. For the next 1 1/4 miles, it's going to be goats. And it is.
We are somewhat famous for making videos about food from convenience stores in Japan, and it's because the food in Japan's convenience stores is like ridiculously good. And a couple days ago, somebody had left a message on one of our videos asking to detail a little bit about some of the convenience store style food that we are having while we're here, which happens a bit when you're on the move and you don't want to like take too much time to sit in a place and eat and stuff. And you know, sometimes you hit up that convenience store. And here they don't really have convenience stores in the same sense that they have them as they do in Japan, but they do have supermarkets that are pretty good. And one of the main chains that we see over and over and over all over the United Kingdom has been the Co-op. And we've busted up in there quite a few times. And today I've busted up in there once again because we're on our way north still to get a little snack for lunch. And I've got a chimichurri chicken flatbread. I know what chicken is, I know what a flatbread is. Not quite clear on the chimichurri part. But it is a decent looking little sandwich. And I've had these in the past and they've never been amazing or anything. But I don't think I've had this specific flavor. You can get like a bunch of different types. And this has got like some peppers in it and some chicken and some flatbread and some green stuffs. And it's a decent little guy. I think it was maybe 3.5 pounds. I just checked the receipt, but the lady gave me a receipt for somebody's wine, so I don't know exactly how much it cost. Served cold. This is okay. It kind of falls in the same place that all the other little flatbread sandwiches I've had are, where they feel pretty healthy, but there's not a whole lot of flavor. The chicken meat doesn't have a whole lot going on, but I think it's fairly well presented and stuff for what you would expect from a non-Japanese convenience store style food. Like, it's a nice package and it's like, it seems clean and it seems like it was prepared sometime within the last couple of months. So yeah, I mean, it's all right. I don't know if it stacks up there with the best, but it's like a reasonable thing to have. That's a big dog. Yo, like, a picture of a windsock does not help me understand how windy it is outside. This is the video where we talk about the things that we saw on the way, because this is how we roll when we're just driving. We just take shots out the window and stuff and go, oh wow, that was really cool. Did you have anything?
Or stop and stand in the cold for a little while.
Yeah, sometimes.
Or watch you climb a tree for a little while while I sit in the car and not be cold.
You're doing a really good job of laying out things that I can put footage over.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I felt like the whole day that we were driving, even though we didn't drive up the coast the entire time, there was a body of water next to us always. Like a lake or a river.
You mispronounced that lake.
Oh, or a loch or a river or just the ocean, driving up that on the last bit of the little drive. And it's just like, everybody tells you like it's a beautiful place up here. It's a beautiful place up here.
I remember where it went from, oh, that's nice scenery, to I said the phrase, that is sick. And then I just started videotaping something and you'll see that's where I thought it got sick.
It's also, it's a fairly like dramatic landscape. And we've now just pulled into a place that we were aiming for all day, and we came down this really long road, and now we're going to go to this castle that we're staying in tonight.
And I just want to point out that like the signs say Ackergill Tower, but this was a castle at one point.
Was it really? Do you think they're selling themselves short?
I think they're selling themselves short. When I saw this building, I was like, yeah, it's definitely whoa, that's a stately manor.
And we got tipped off by somebody who watches our videos, I think, gave us a tip on this.
That's
really cool.
And then I went down the rabbit hole that was, well, what castle do you go to? And I actually went with the one that they suggested, just because.
Wait, there's more than one you can stay in?
Oh yeah, there's like a whole website that it's just like castle. So I was looking at all of the prices and looking at the locations of them, and this one was for the price and for the location, because we wanted to come up north, and this one sits right on the water. Yeah. And for just the price also as well, like, pretty good. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to stay in a castle, everybody. It's not, you're not coming here and like, this isn't like couch surfing or anything like that.
We're staying one night.
It's not castle surfing. Yeah, we're staying one night and then we're going back to the budget accommodation. Dude, castles.
Castles. We just checked in and we have seen our room and everything, so it's not going to be a surprise for us anymore, but we'll take you all up in there in a minute. What I've learned so far is that this is a seaside castle, which is really cool, and that it was built, they think, in the 1400s, but they're not 100% certain on that. And there's like a sequence of a bunch of different people that lived here, and at one point they were the Marshalls, which is your last name, which is pretty cool. And right now we're on the not sea-facing side of the castle, and this is actually the back. And back in the day, there would have been a moat over here that would have been to keep like protection away from people coming from the land side. And people normally would have come from the sea-facing side to access the castle. That's where the front of the castle is.
Oh, and now I get it.
We've been told we can go around over there and check it out, so we're gonna do that right now.
Try not to fall in the water. I'm thinking about taking it back for the Marshalls.
So we scooted around to the front side of the castle, which is facing the ocean. And the whole structure is really, really cool looking, but it's not extravagant, kind of the way that maybe I have a false impression of what castles are supposed to look like because of Disney movies or whatever, but it's quite utilitarian. However, like when you think of castles, you think of like a big door with like a gate and stuff. Check this out. That's the front door. This is like, it's a green affair, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a little normal door. And I'm thinking like, is that really gonna keep out like an invading army or whatever? But maybe it will, just because of the landscape that they have to walk across just to get to it. Like the access in itself is probably the protection they need, and they were just like, just throw the lime green affair on the front. It's not lime.
These trees, like, we're at a castle. Things already feel kind of strange and like you wouldn't really think that this was happening. These trees are just pounding it in. This is not really happening. I just keep looking at the structure and go like chuckling to myself, like, can't believe I'm standing next to this and that I get to walk in and do stuff inside. It just seems, it's like equivalent to somebody coming to your house. They've got keys to a Lamborghini or Ferrari and here you go have some fun. Really? Okay.
Now that's the door I expect to be on the front of a castle, but now we're on the back of a castle. Let's roll in. Y'all are gonna be impressed, I guarantee it.
First, it's really warm. It's so cold outside. It just started snowing and it's really windy out there, so it feels very warm and you can smell the fire. The floor feels very Scottish.
It is straight up like a labyrinth in here.
Are these our stairs?
I don't know. I think it is. These are our stairs.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a labyrinth in here. It's not set up like a normal hotel. So like we gotta find like a spiral staircase, but after a couple different staircases, then we find our room. It's really like set up to it's a hard place to have an ambush.
These are names for all of the rooms. Our name has not shown up on this one yet, like the name for our room. But our room name is pretty good for today.
Where do we go now?
Oh, all right. Do a U-turn and then up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
We made it to Cospatrick's, and we didn't request this or anything. It's St. Patrick's Day. We're in the Cospatrick's room. Awesome. After you. I feel like it's got kind of a brown theme, which makes me happy.
Like the color?
Yeah. That's my favorite color. The room is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought like you're coming to a castle, the rooms are going to be quite cramped, and you're just there for being in that building, but the room is super spacious. I did some bouncing on the bed earlier, and that went really well. The ceilings are incredibly high. The room is just big and open and lovely. When she was explaining the room to us, I was just kind of like this the whole time. Very excited.
All right, just to clear something up, because I know that some people are probably going to be calling us out on this. We keep saying the word castle, and the name of this thing is Ackergill Tower Hotel. So maybe not a tower, but right underneath it, it says Luxury Highland Castle. So we're going to keep saying castle because, I mean, come on now, castle? It's a much cooler word. But maybe it's a tower, but it says like castle here and tower there. It's quite confusing. We're going to go with castle.
So yesterday we were staying in Dingwall, and in Dingwall, I knew that was going to make you laugh. In Dingwall, we stayed at a hotel that was about £35, and at that hotel, on the bed when we went in. They had little soaps that were on top of the towels, and they were Lux, and they smelled really nice, and we were really excited. And I went into the bathroom, and Eric asked, do they have shampoo and conditioner? And no, they didn't. So that was the amenities that we got at the 35-pound hotel last night in Dingwall. What about at a castle? Let's go through these amenities. This is a bar of soap that's going to be Peri Pear. We have a vanity kit. I am so incredibly vain that this is really important for me. Yep, just lady stuffs. Got the Q-tips. I think that's a fingernail file and some cotton pads.
What is a cotton pad for?
People remove their makeup with it. I don't use them.
Oh.
Shower cap. That's pretty standard for an upscale hotel. We have, maybe they won't smell like Peri Pear. That's actually a person, Peri Pear. I don't know. So we got conditioner, shampoo. We're stepping it up from the game of the 35 Dingwall Hotel. And what is this? Shower gel. So that covers everything that I would essentially think of.
Lotion, I'm betting.
Not body lotion. Yep, you're right.
Bang.
Yeah. So those are the amenities that we had right outside the bathroom. I'm gonna use them, man. I'm assuming these are royalty standard.
So built in the 1400s, right? Wouldn't normally have amenities that you would expect in the 1400s that today we all take for granted, such as a shower in a room and a toilet in a room. So the way that they did this and got that functionality into the rooms is kind of interesting. You can see that this is a window that goes outside, of course, and this wall is like a place where you would go and maybe be able to shoot a bow and arrow or something. That's what this used to be. I'm just envisioning my Disney Robin Hood fantasies of my expectations of how this would have worked. But I'm just assuming that maybe for defenses or maybe it's a nice view. Who knows? You've got this cutout, and this is the wall of the room, and you can see that from here to here is the defensive wall. So it's I don't know,
11 feet is what she said.
11 foot thick is the wall. So what they've done to put a bathroom in is they have carved out this little room into the wall. So this would have been solid back in the day, but now they've installed a bathroom that is a little bit low. And they've put in the amenities. They put in the toilet, and there's a heater, and there is a little shower. And I can't quite stand in here, even though there's a dip when you walk in. But it's a little cramped, but you're in a wall. So, I guess it's all right. I haven't turned this on yet. I don't know how to turn this on.
No showers for you.
Water is supposed to come out of the castle wall. I don't know how to operate the little machine, and I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much. Other things of note in here is when you're sitting on the loo and you're doing your business, check out this. You got a nice little view outside the window. It's the best pooping view I've ever had. And there's also a little sink and everything. I think this is genius that they've just carved this into the wall. It's really cool. And I was like, is that how do you plumb a castle? She was like, oh, you just carve out the wall and then, okay. All right, that's how you do it. Other than that, the room is super classy. There's a big this thing that I don't know what is. I'm concerned. That's just a lockbox. This is hotel stuff that looks really fancy. The thing I'm excited about is she said that we could go on the roof if we keep going up that spiral staircase. So I think that's where we're gonna head next.
She also said nothing is off limits. She said you could go in every room in here aside from other people's rooms, which may or may not be off limits for me.
And you love snooping.
I love snooping. I already did some snooping in here, read all the books. Got to know what's going on over there. I read some notes from Grandma. Grandma's handwriting was really bad. She was not doing good penmanship. So yeah, we're gonna go and find out what's inside the castle and stay inside because it's real cold outside.
Well, first we're going outside to go upstairs.
Dang it!
In true spirit of going wherever you want, let's go at the fire exit. Well, that's pretty cool.
Nowhere is out of bounds. after the roof, we get to stay inside, right? Holy crap.
We've been walking around exploring the castle because nowhere's off limits.
Nope.
And there,
We've opened things we shouldn't open.
yeah, like, oh, that's a bunch of towels. Like, that's just where the maintenance crew gets their, like, mops. But there's also, like, a lot of little common area rooms. There's, like, sometimes there's, like, a fire burning in a place, or just people, like, sitting around, like, talking about their adventures around the world, and all, like,
Yeah,
oh,
each room has a vibe in itself, and then it's been inhabited by people with more vibes. Like, there's the homely husband and wife chilling near the fire and just reading the newspaper. And it feels like mom and dad having, like, you know, just to relax. And then the next room, a bottle of wine's been open, and these guys that have been friends for a really long time are talking to others, and they're enjoying their inebriation and stories of long ago.
And then there's a room with a snooker table, and I knew that word meant like something like billiards, and I just thought it meant the same thing as like billiards or pool, or maybe billiards.
I thought
There's
that
so
it
many
meant
words.
the same thing in a way, but that
Yeah.
the game was played differently.
But the
whole
table
table's
is like
different.
huge. Like it's really, really, really big, and there's a lot of balls on it, and there's no numbers on the balls, but this lady in there knows like if it's a red ball, it's this many points, or then there's this, then you hit a brown ball, and like she knows all these crazy rules. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna need like a manual or something.
And the black ball comes out after
But like,
every red ball.
I think that table's bigger than our bed. It's huge, dude.
I think it might be, yeah, it's longer. Maybe not wider, but longer.
Yeah, I think I wonder if the reason that like something that big has developed is because if you are really rich, you can afford to build a room that big just
Yeah.
for that thing. It's
Yeah.
like a pride thing, and it's
it
like
all
evolved
starts-
around that.
It all starts with the game, not the room. It starts with the game, and you build around the game.
And we've come into another one of the little common area rooms that there's nobody chilling in right now, and you just got a couple
What will
couches.
we bring to this room?
I don't know, but you know what
Curse words.
I'm you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling like somebody tonight is gonna get murdered, and we're all gonna have to figure out who did it in what room with what tool.
Murder mystery. It's the man that doesn't know that Jimmy Buffett and the Beach Boys are not in the same group. Oh gosh.
There was a guy talking about that.
You can't compare Jimmy Buffett to the Beach Boys. Sorry.
I think he's gonna get whacked in the snooker room.
He may have already. Somebody else heard that comment.
With what? If she tells us, then we're gonna know who did it.
Well, then I would just keep my mouth shut. Although we have our own bathroom, there's another bathroom down here that's for everyone. And I don't think necessarily you're supposed to take a bath in here, but seriously? There's just a crocodile above. That's real, dude. Oh God, I scared myself. I really did scare myself. That's embarrassing. Whew. Gotta calm down now.
This isn't the official throne room, but at the moment, I do feel a bit like the king.
You were blocking my shot.
My bad.
I talked to some pretty cool people about snooker. Snooker? I think I was calling it like smuckers. We'll just call it smuckers. No, I think it's snooker. I talked to them about kind of how to play, like reds, then colors, then reds, then colors, and then once all the reds go away, then the rainbow comes back on the table, and you shoot all the colors in some sort of order that I don't remember. I've been playing by myself because Eric took a shower.
Are you winning?
I am losing. I would say I'm losing. It is unstylish how I've played, but I managed to hit a color or a red, then a color, then a red. That's my chain so far that
Nice.
I've been able to do, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to make this because it's so. What would look easy? Yay!
High five, man.
Can I get a colored? Now it's color time. None of these colors are looking good. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up and go eat dinner now. It's probably a good idea.
Something we usually don't indulge in is eating at the place that we're staying. This time we decided to make an exception because it's a castle, y'all. And we are actually going to be having dinner here in their magnificent dining room along with breakfast in the morning. So we've come down here for dinner and they had us sit down and it's very classy and I'm wearing my hoodie because this is my finest clothes on my trip right now.
I did wear my nicest shirt.
The waffle shirt. And they gave us the menu and I opened it up and I started looking over this menu, and the first thing that I noticed was that every single item on the menu has at least one word or phrase that I don't understand. And we were just looking at it, we're like, okay, we're in northern Scotland, we don't know a lot of these words, so we asked the waitress to come over and we were like, can you help us understand what's on this menu? And she was like, it's a new menu, I don't really know what everything is either. We were like, okay, so we're gonna have to work through this together. And she ended up making some runs to the back to talk to the chef and stuff to try to figure out exactly what it was that we were gonna be having. And we think we've got everything nailed down. And we're getting a 3-course meal.
You're getting bug pasta.
I'm getting bug pasta, apparently.
Ganucci?
Ganucci is what we think that it's called. Probably pronouncing that maybe not okay. But yeah, it's all gonna be on its way soon. And this is like the fanciest food we've had since Stockholm, when we went with Tommy to have like amazing Swedish meal. So bring it on, bring it on, Scotland. Since Stockholm, that got stuck in my head.
We've got a lot of silverware. A lot of silverware. We got starters, we got mains, and we got dessert. Time for starters. We chose the pigeon, and we thought that maybe that meant something we didn't understand. I think it's just pigeon. I don't know what part of the pigeon, could be lots of pigeon, but it said pigeon, shallots, and blackberry.
Is this your first pigeon?
It might be my first pigeon.
You have to check it off your list.
We're gonna get a meat list. I'm gonna get like a book about meat and check off all the things that I have eaten. It's got blackberry like smeared on the plate. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Dry, kind of just straightforward meat.
Is it like a red meat or like a chicken?
It's like a red meat. I would say, like, if somebody gave that and said, is that steak or chicken? I would say that's steak to me.
Is it really a pigeon?
And there's no internet in here. We can't ask the internet.
Starters. I got the goat's cheese mousse, and I don't really know where I'm gonna find goats or a mousse in there. But let's go in. I feel so awkward because I don't have any idea how to eat any of this. I guess that's like a beetroot or something. Ooh, that's quite good. Yeah, wow. It's like the best beet I've ever had. I love getting the crappy like $1 beets in the can, like the red beets, and just eating them like an animal. But that's like one of those like snooty, like really, really good beet. I just want to pick this stuff up with my fingers, but I know that's not like the proper thing to do. And I want to try some of the goat's cheese, so I'm gonna get something that I think is like goat's cheese. And it's here. It's a bit dark in here too, and it's probably dark on the camera, but it's even dark to us, so I'm kind of like looking at things like, what is it that I've got here?
This is ambiance.
This is ambiance. That's quite tickety-boo. That's a good, it's like a really, really, really delicious cheese. It's kind of a creamy cheese. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not eating pigeon right now.
Just ask the girl. Definitely a pigeon. Was really a pigeon. Was caught today. Well, not caught. Was shot today by Tim. Tim shot it, skinned it. The chef cooked it. I ate it today. Sorry, pigeon. But you know, you made your best effort at life and it didn't work out. And then like I enjoyed it. That felt bad about the pigeon. I don't know. Now I feel weird because I talked directly to the pigeon.
The names have arrived. And we've noticed they're a bit small. It's not a really, really large amount of food. So I might ask to like munch on some more bread. And I had ordered the, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but she called it the gnocchi this time when it came back. And it kind of looks like a ravioli style thing. And it's a pasta with like a sauce on it that is, I don't know, some sort of creamy looking thing. And do you remember what was inside of it?
It's just a dense pasta.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's going to be pasta-y, but kind of squishy in the middle.
Dense
if
pasta.
I understand
Okay.
what I've seen in the store.
All right. You're spot on. It's a really dense pasta. The inside of it is, I don't think it's cheese, but it's got almost like that kind of texture that's happening, like a really, really, really warm cheese that sort of falls apart. And it's really, really delicious. The outside of the sauce is almost feels like pumpkin or a squash or something like that type of not animal. That's not an animal. That type of food item, vegetable. And it's also got like pumpkin seeds on the outside, which give it kind of a bit of a crunch. I've never had this before, but I would order it again. It's actually quite good. But
You have to know how to say it to order it.
yeah, gnocchi. I don't know. People are gonna crucify us over this, but the waitresses don't know either. It's not our fault. We've asked, like, how do you say that? I was like, can you say that again? All right, okay, cool.
You think after Tim shot that pigeon and skinned it, he went out and caught this fish with his bare hands? Because I think he did. That's how I like to imagine this kitchen is run. I ordered the hake, and I don't really know what kind of fish that is. I think it's a white fish. That's all I know about fish, is that it comes in maybe colors. It's on a bed of lovely bits of sea vegetables. I know what seaweed is. I mean, we live in Japan. I don't really know what they mean by sea vegetables. Definitely a nice white fish. What I've found about the things that I've eaten that are meat, the meat is not seasoned really to any excess, obviously, but it's really light. I think they want the meat to just stand on its own, which doesn't really happen very often. I feel like you get stuff that's just super seasoned. Everything is super seasoned. I can say that this meat is good quality, but I'm missing kind of like the zing that comes from seasoning. I am eating a fish. I feel like it's just been a cooked fish. That's been cooked well, but not seasoned. Underneath, what is a sea vegetable? That is a sea vegetable. Oh my goodness. It doesn't look like seaweed, but it definitely looks like it came from the water. That's seasoned. That's good. And it kind of pops a little bit. Like, what are the not ume.
Oh, the sea grapes from Okinawa?
Sea grapes from Okinawa has a bit like that, but not as like bursting with sweet flavor or anything. It's more like buttery and a little bit of a burst. I like fish.
You apparently like the sea vegetables more, though.
Yeah, I was quite excited about that.
In December when we were in Sweden, I got hooked on rhubarb yogurt, and it was just like they had yogurt, and then it was like a jelly kind of a rhubarb flavor that was inside of it. And I've had rhubarb like in my past kind of a little bit, and I have a vague idea of what it was, but I started eating that. I was like, man, rhubarb is killer. And I saw on the dessert menu here, they have got local rhubarb, and it has come out for my dessert. And I've gotten a couple little pieces here, and I'm going to jump up in. It's really soft the way that it has come out. I expected it to have a little bit of a crunch to it because of what I think rhubarb is, but maybe I'm wrong. And it smells really, really sweet. It's like almost like a berry smelling.
It looks like salmon.
Yeah, it does. It looks like salmon, but it does not smell at all like salmon. And yeah.
That is not an attractive face.
Oh, It just melts. It's a little bit like, it's sweet, but not overtly sweet. And it kind of has a little bit of like a acidic-y, grapefruity thing going on. And it is quite good. I'm really glad that I got this instead of just like defaulting to like some ice cream or something like this. I'm glad that I explored like the rhubarb a bit. I tell you what, I'm a pretty big fan, and when we get back to like Japan, I'm gonna be like wishing I had some more rhubarb in my life.
You think you're an explorer? You are not an explorer. I got cheese for dessert. I'm an explorer. And it's all Scottish cheeses. We asked about the cheeses. I have 4 on my plate. They could only describe 3 of them to me. and they don't know which ones are which. It's just that you have 3 cheeses of the 4 on your plate. Very strange. Anywho, I've got a lot of cheeses. The main reason that I chose this is because I wanted to get oat cakes. I do my research when I come to new places, and I have a huge list of like random Scottish items that I really want to try. And I almost bought this at the supermarket to have for breakfast, but I was like, I'm gonna find it in a restaurant because this is not something that happens in a restaurant very often. So I got my oat cake, I've got my Scottish cheeses and my chutney. I've probably not done dessert well, but that's fine. This is a very squishy cheese on the outside, but a hard cheese on the inside. So that is weird. And giving it, oh, I hurt my oat cake. Wow. I thought they'd be a little more sturdy than, you can't push that hard on your oat cake. Is that the blue, the brie, or the goat's cheese? Or the apple? I'm gonna say none of those. Maybe.
So it could be the 4th mystery cheese.
Could be the 4th mystery. It's either brie or mystery cheese. I'm gonna try this. This is either brie or the mystery cheese. This is so hard. I have to say, okay, this is gonna be, I'm kind of shocked with, the staff doesn't really know what to tell us about a lot of things. This is going to be a tourist destination, and people are going to have questions about the food. And not only just from, like, could you tell me the cheeses that you put on this specialty platter? Like, I think a place should know those things and be able to tell me. If you have to go and ask the chef, that's totally fine, or the person who prepared it, that's totally fine. But if you come back and you tell me that you don't know what these things are, like, you say you're running, like, a good kitchen, and it's a castle, like, people are coming here for that. And then, like, other things that are on the menu, we don't know what these words are, but they didn't even know what these words are. Like, in my mind, coming and staying at a place like this, I have a higher expectation, a higher caliber that I'm expecting of service. I want to be able to ask questions and feel that that person knows. And I think that if I ask the person at Chipotle, you know, what is in that mixture, they could probably tell me what's in the mixture. It's because they're making it. But I feel like people here don't know what they're doing. It's weird.
They're really nice, though.
They're super nice. We've had a lot of fun. When she brought me this list, we were joking around about this, but yeah, I feel like I don't know what I'm eating, and that's kind of disappointing. I'm kind of sad about that because I really wanted to know.
How is it, though?
Pretty good. There is a special blue cheese in Scotland. I think it's Lanark. This is not Lanark. It says it is Stratton Blue. I'm gonna give it a try and just really feel the bagpipes in the background and think about Scotland and wonder if this was made in Scotland. That's definitely the blue. The blue's easy to spot, but the brie, the goat's cheese, and the mystery cheese.
When you asked the dude, he spotted the blue from across the room.
He did. I was like, so what cheeses are these? And he was like, you got a blue? And then he just stopped. He was like, I'll be back. Yeah, definitely got a blue. This is my best shirt. It shrunk. We found another room. Nowhere is out of bounds. I think it's okay. Let's go to the wine cellar. We may be down here forever.
At least we'll be drank.
It's also the golf club cellar. You
I
gotta
like
keep
that.
them frosty.
The way that light turned on for you, that was really nice.
I don't think that happens in here. Didn't happen for you earlier.
No.
Yeah, so got our thing.
It's like an actual wine cellar, like legit.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything in particular there. I mean, we're not big wine guys, but it's kind of cool to come down here and feel that cold and yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Earlier I was staring at this thing and I was thinking, why are there stairs to the telephone? Katie's found out. Can you show us?
Look, I snoop and I fidget with things. I don't go through my friends' cabinets or anything like that. I don't want you to think I'm that kind of snoop. I'm the kind of snoop that, like, you've given me access to this, so I'm really gonna find out all the things I can find out about it. I saw that there was like, it seems like you can open this, but it seems locked. It won't open for me. But what I did end up finding is that this comes out further, and this slides up. That's a toilet.
You gonna use it?
If you weren't here, I might think about using it.
You would not make
Things.
you would not make them happy in the morning.
No. I think maybe just a number one. I don't know. That is, they put a toilet in here, yo.
I think they left a toilet in here from before.
I think they don't know it's a toilet. I really thought I was gonna find some pirate treasure or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be money in there. Woo!
You about just found some booty treasure.
Yeah, I found the toilet. I was lucky enough to find the toilet. Well, that's why there's stairs to the phone. I have avoided eating Scottish breakfast because I knew we'd be coming here and we'd be having Scottish breakfast. Everybody needs to be really quiet because when you're at a castle for breakfast, nobody talks. It's very, very quiet in here. It's really kind of creepy. It's like somebody did get murdered last night and nobody solved the mystery and we're all suspecting everyone in the room. The Scottish breakfast that we have today, meat-wise, sausage and bacon and haggis. Excited about the haggis. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all me. Eric might take a bite, maybe. Vegetable-wise, tomato and mushrooms. And mushrooms, dude, mushroom is the point to have a fry-up, seriously. And they didn't bring the mushrooms or the haggis to us. So I had to be like, where's the rest of it? And then they just brought it out. I don't know if it comes on a separate plate regularly or if they're just skimping to see what they can get by with. I don't know, but I asked and I got my mushrooms because that's what makes the breakfast. And then bread-wise, we have a potato scone and fried bread and toast. That's a lot of bread. And if you want to go over to the counter over there, you can have a croissant and some sort of apple fritter. And eggs and beans. Beans is the second, so there's mushrooms and then there's beans, okay? And then there's the rest of the stuff they put on the plate that was soaked in the beans. But the beans are contained. This doesn't feel right. I'm gonna try the haggis first because I think that is the way to go. It is soft and warm. Not as good as what we had in, I guess that was Glasgow. Not as peppery, but really good texture. It's kind of like corned beef. I would say you'd like that and you'd have no problem with it. It's not weird or...
I was really worried about the livery texture. Does it have a livery texture?
No, it has a crumbly texture, not like a livery one. All right. And the best part
fuck up a mushroom. You just, I don't know what you're doing. I love mushrooms. Oh my god.
Is it a good mushroom?
It's a good mushroom in the sense it's like the fish last night. The mushroom itself is great. Is it seasoned or anything like that? Nothing special was really done to it. It's just living its life. Potato spoon. Just going hands-on with this. I've had some of them before already. They weren't fried like this. That's good. Potato scone is good because it's a little bit salty. That's nice. Most of the other stuff, I can imagine what it tastes like. Fried bread. I think this is a bit excessive, everyone. You don't need to fry bread.
I've got a toast for you.
It's a standard one. I am actually now, because I was talking to Eric and I was telling him, maybe we should try like a Scottish breakfast at another place before we try this so we can really judge it. So I'm gonna find another place and we're gonna try Scottish breakfast at another place and see how they size up to each other. Because I think at a greasy spoon restaurant, you might find something magical. Here, I'm just finding something. And granted, it's gonna fill my belly. I feel like there's more fireworks to be had on this Scottish breakfast.
Another pretty common breakfast item in this part of the world is just porridge. And I think it's fun because they give you a thing of honey that you can put into the porridge. And honey, I don't know if you know about my love of bees, but man, bees are doing it right. Honey makes everything amazing. And this is something that you can get like in a lot of places. Coffee shops will have little cups of it, and that's the only experience I have personally had with it. But Katie has delved in a little bit to a bunch of different stuff. And I am going to I'm really excited about that. It's a warm thing, the texture is pretty good, and it's a vehicle to get honey in your mouth. So I'm sold.
Comparison to Pret.
Pret was the Pret is the coffee shop one that I had. It's more full-bodied. Like the porridge itself has got more substance to it than the little like microwavable cup or whatever that I had it in before. But the honey is about the same.
Insulting the bees, the royal bees.
No, all bees never make a mistake. It's always amazing. So staying in the castle is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think overall the experience was totally worth it. I don't know if I would say staying there more than one night would be really worth it. There's not a whole lot around this area to go exploring and stuff that we can tell from. But the castle itself, where it's sitting, is amazing. The castle inside is amazing. It's fun to go around and like stick your nose in places, go in the wine cellar, like all these places you're not supposed to go.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did the food just because we never do fancy style food, and it's just an opportunity to have that experience.
But however, it also solidifies, as it usually does.
Yeah, that we aren't fancy food people, basically.
No.
Like, it was okay, and like the quality of it was really good, but like I'm eating this and I'm like, it's pretty good, but like so is 1,000 yen worth of sushi in Japan, and like I'd rather have had that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just maybe says something about me more than it does than anything else, but it's cool to have the experience. The staff was super nice, but it was a little bizarre that there was a lot they didn't know what was going on. And I think
it felt like everybody got hired yesterday.
Yes, it very much felt like that. And she mentioned that it was a new menu, but I mean, like, I don't know. It wasn't just the menu that there was confusion about.
If it was my establishment,
yeah,
I would want them to know.
Yeah.
So I would be making sure that they know.
Because the whole place has got this air of like excellence. And then it's weird.
It should.
And it's weird how it just sort of fell apart there. And again, nobody was rude to us. They were all super, super nice.
We had a great time laughing with people about stuff we didn't understand, and everybody was really nice to us, and our room was fantastic.
It was just a weird mixture of like you're in a mega posh castle, and like they just kind of don't know what's happening. It was a weird contrast. But in general, I'm really glad we came.
Yeah,
and
totally.
We're headed even further north today. I didn't know there's not a whole lot more north we can go.
Yep, we're going to John O'Groats, and then we're gonna go west. Yes.
Left.
Left. It smells like a fart.
Yeah, it smells dank out here.
Are you ready? Seal's been broken! Yeah! Oh, it's a good bouncer. And the seal, oh, it's 2 beds. It's 2 beds.
And the lady said that the walls are 11 feet thick, so I don't think anybody's gonna hear you making any noise anywhere in here. You can do anything we want, man.
Yep.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything as our trip continues through the north of Scotland. Thanks as always to our supporters on Patreon. Without your help, our videos wouldn't exist. If you'd like to help make more videos, check us out on Patreon. You can also see us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.